up and welcome, I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome to a discussion video of sorts. Right now, it's team of the season, obviously, for Ultimate Team, and right about now is where all the career mode people, the people that play career mode and you know, are dedicated to career mode and love that mode in FIFA, are kind of looking at all the people that love Ultimate Team, and they're just going crazy like, oh, I got such and such a player, and oh my gosh, it's Ultimate, it's team of the season, and packs, and this and that, and blue, and I want a blue card, hunt for a blue card this, blue card that, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, nope, I still got the same career mode. I'm almost winning the league though, which is good, but it's like the 17th time I've done it, and it's getting a little dull. I understand it. I understand where you're coming from. I understand your feelings. I'm right there with you. Not to say that I haven't spent a ridiculous amount of money recently on Ultimate Team opening packs, and I'm not proud of that, and my pocket's hurting a little right now, which I'm sure EA loves to hear, which is their main goal with Ultimate Team, but that doesn't help us, you know, career mode people at all. I mean, that doesn't make me feel better about career mode. It doesn't take, you know, away the fact that I still love career mode and I want to play it. And at the same time, it's getting very repetitive and it's very dull sometimes, and it can get a little played out. Now, right now, the team of the season time is when the career mode does start to die out a little bit, and right now I know there's a discussion going on between some of the career mode YouTubers, the bigger ones. You know, they're kind of having the discussion that happens every year right around this time, where they're kind of trying to think of ways, you know, I wish that EA would make career mode great and innovate things into it and just make it better. And I know that they're all, you know, bouncing ideas off of each other, trying to think of ways that they could do that. And I know the main reason and the main holdup that there are no innovations coming and there are no upgrades coming for career mode is that it doesn't make EA any money. Career mode doesn't make them money. There is no way for them to profit off of career mode once you buy the game. You buy the game, you can play career mode, and you don't have to pay for anything else. Whereas Ultimate Team, you have the microtransactions that is the main source of income for this game. And that's very unfortunate, because before you had online, all there was really career mode and things like that, and they had to continue to implement new things and make it better, which was awesome. I loved it every year where there was something new and they had to upgrade it, and that's kind of died off. It's unfortunate, and I don't know if it's going to change without there being a way for them to profit off of career mode, and that's just sad, and it's completely up to them, and you can't really blame them for that. And at the same time, it's very frustrating. So we're not going to talk about ways they could make money off of career mode. Instead, maybe we're just going to talk about a couple of things where I think that they could just tweak some things, maybe add a couple of little things. It wouldn't be all that difficult. You're not completely revamping it, but you're just adding some small things that would vastly improve the career mode aspect of FIFA. So let's start out by taking a look at what the career mode really is. And what it is it's a mode that's really boiled down to its simplest form, and it's just completely, if you look at it, completely unrealistic. All it is you take a team, you get the money with that team, you buy a player, whether it's realistic or not, for them to get that player or that player to go to that team. You buy that player, you get a little bit better, you get more money in the next season, you keep trying to get better, and you try to win things. Great. You get trophies. What do those trophies mean in the end? Absolutely nothing, except for, you know, the knowledge that you've won it. It doesn't reflect anything on that team. It's just you won that tournament, and then, or you won that trophy, and the next season you start over again and you try to win it again. It just, there's no building to it. It's very one season and then that's it, kind of a mode. And, you know, the next season you restart, you try to win again. I mean, that's it. And that's one of the things I think that could really be changed. And if just by changing something small, adding something small in there, it would completely change the experience of career mode. And what I'm talking about is the sport itself is built around the glory, the prestige of, you know, winning things. And the teams that have the most prestige often have the most money and often can bring in the most players. So adding in some kind of a prestige system to see where your team is and kind of a numerical value to your prestige as a team would greatly improve just the depth of career mode. It would really make it more immersive. Suddenly winning trophies reflects on your club and shows what their prestige is, and then your prestige level would then kind of dictate what kind of players you can get, what players would want to go to your team. Say, for instance, let's take a real life for instance here. Say Leicester win the Premier League this season, which is very, very possible that they will, and it's looking likely. If they win the Premier League this season, does that mean that they can turn around and go get Neymar? Hell no. Neymar's not going to Leicester. Not if they win the next 3 Premier Leagues is Neymar going to Leicester. He is completely out of the realm of possibilities for Leicester, okay? And it's not a reflection on Leicester. I'm not taking any digs at Leicester. I'm happy for them if they win the Premier League, and that's me as a Spurs fan saying I'm happy for them. It's a great story. I'd love for Spurs to win it. At least at the end of the day, we're going to finish ahead of Arsenal. That's a completely different story, though. I'm not going into that. I'm just saying that it's not possible for Leicester to buy Neymar. In career mode, 100% is. 100% is. Leicester, if you win the Premier League with Leicester in career mode, suddenly you've got a lot of money in your budget the next season. You're in the Champions League, which gets you a lot of money, and you can afford Neymar. All it comes down to is if you have enough money, you can buy the player, and it's completely unrealistic. If you add that prestige factor into it, it really would add a new level to career mode. Suddenly you have to actually build your team. You have to continue to be successful. You have to continue to build your brand and your team and become one of the biggest clubs in the world. And there's an actual value that shows you if you're one of the best teams in the world, instead of just in your mind, you know, yeah, I've won the Premier League twice and I won the Champions League once. We got to be one of the best teams in the world. We got a huge budget. We can buy any player that we want. Yeah, we're one of the best teams in the world. When in reality, no, you're not. You're having a good, little time with your team, and you're slowly becoming a relevant team in the world. But no, you're not one of the best teams. You're not gonna get Neymar. You're not gonna get Bale. You're not gonna get anyone like that. You're not gonna get Pogba. No, it's not possible. And I know it would make it much, much more difficult. Believe me, I know. And I think there should be some kind of, if this is implemented, some way you can, if you don't want to go through with that, you can turn that option off in the options before you start your career, because some people won't like it. But for me, I think it would add such an amazing, immersive experience and aspect to a career mode where suddenly you're actually working for something. Finally, there's some kind of end goal with career mode where you're trying to get to a certain level, become one of the best clubs in the world, and you can, there's some kind of reflection of that in your team, which allows you to get better players, and suddenly transfers actually make sense. And if we take that a step further, maybe there's a prestige kind of level for every player, as well as yourself as a manager. So this works if you're doing a player career as well, and you start out and you have 0 prestige, all right? And then, you get a few accomplishments, you score some goals, you're starting to make your name known, your prestige level rises. Suddenly, higher level teams with higher prestiges are looking at you as a player, and you can move up, and that would make sense, rather than you just kind of, getting all your accomplishments and becoming an insanely high-rated player after 2 seasons. Suddenly, you went from Portsmouth to Bayern Munich, and what the hell just happened? You're still 17 years old, and you're the starting striker at Bayern Munich. How the hell did that just happen? Would never happen. And, the career mode's completely out of whack. Again, if you want to do that, you can turn the option off, and there's no big deal, but it would make everything just a lot more, realistic. And again, as a manager, if you want to do like a road to glory as a manager, where you're trying to improve your career, you start off at a low team, you win some things, your prestige level as a manager goes up, better teams start looking at you, you can then move to higher teams, better teams, and so on and so forth until you're managing Barcelona or something, and you're at one of the best teams in the world, and you're one of the best managers in the world. It would just add another layer to career mode. So that is really the main aspect that I would love to see implemented, is some kind of a prestige system. Some other smaller things that I would like to see tweaked or changed. Really, the pre-contract system in career mode, it's so unbelievably broken. I believe that career mode, you really are not intended to play it more than 4, maybe 5 seasons. Once you hit the 4th or 5th season, you can literally get any player in the world as long as you have the money to pay their wages, and there's nothing there's nothing stopping you. All they have to do is get them on pre-contract, because teams never re-sign their best players. Why is it? Explain to me why Barcelona would not re-sign Messi. How come I can sign Messi on a pre-contract? How come I can sign Ronaldo on a pre-contract? Neymar, anybody in the world. You can sign anybody in the world on a pre-contract because they never re-signed. I would just like to see the CPU have some kind of logic system where they actually re-sign their best players. It just doesn't make sense for them to never be re-signed. And the fact that they're not re-signed and they're always on an expiring contract, and the fact that no other CPU team goes and gets them on a pre-contract, the whole thing just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I like to see that cleaned up. Make it a little bit more difficult, where if you want to have Messi, you're going to have to get a big offer, maybe with the prestige system as well, be a big team, and then go buy Messi. Not be, in my Sounders career, I just got Neymar. I have Neymar. How? How is that possible? How is it possible for me at Sounders to have Neymar on my team? Bought him on a pre-contract. Nothing stopped me. I had the money. I got the player. And that's the only system there is in this game, which is completely ridiculous. And one more small thing I'd like to see implemented as an MLS guy, I'd like to see something, some kind of a Champions League for teams in North and South America. Even if it means the Champions League encompasses all of those leagues that are in the game for North and South America, say MLS, Liga MX, the Argentinian League, Colombian League, and Chilean League. I think those are the only leagues that are in it. Even if it's all of those leagues thrown into one and just make that the Champions League, just something for MLS. I know if you do a career mode in any one of those leagues, all you have to look forward to is your domestic league. In those other ones, outside of the MLS, those other four, I think, have a domestic cup that encompasses all of those, which I think is the Copa Libertadores. Don't slay me on that if I got that wrong. I believe that's what it is the Copa Libertadores, which is the actual thing, and it's a huge competition, and that's great. That's awesome. But I would just like to see a Champions League just to add something for those leagues, especially the MLS, because all you've got in the MLS, which encompasses a large portion of your consumer, if you're EA, and for FIFA, United States, you like to show them some kind of love. And they are getting better with the MLS. I do appreciate that, adding some stadiums, some real player faces, but just give a little bit more depth for the MLS, because currently we're struggling out here, man. It's a real struggle. There's not a lot to do with MLS teams, and it's getting real repetitive real quick. So that is going to do it. Those are just a few of my ideas. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, whether it's about my ideas, whether you like them or you don't, or if you have your own ideas. I just kind of wanted to create a discussion here on what you think could be implemented. Maybe it's a complete overhaul and it might be a little bit far-fetched, or maybe it's something a little simple. Maybe you just want to see some things cleaned up. Either way, I just, career mode people, I feel you. I feel you, man. I know you're wanting something changed. I know you want a little bit of tweaking and just something new, something to be excited about for career mode rather than the same career mode stuff over and over again. I know it's a struggle, and I know you love it still, and I do too, but you just want a little bit more, a little bit of effort out of EA would go a long way with career mode people. So that is going to be it for this one. Once again, leave your comments and feedback down in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.